So I work in a section of a grocery store that sells alcohol and tobacco. Unfortunately, my co-workers and I have to scan everyone's ID that buys because we don't have the managerial abilities to bypass and type it in manually, which I understand and agree it's annoying, but it's something out of my control. They're more than welcome to wait for a supervisor from up front to do it, but it takes a few minutes and it holds up the line. Of course, some people don't care about others and they choose to hold up the line. Basically, it's faster to just give me your ID. It takes 2 seconds. But yet they'll have no problem whipping their debit card, store savings card out though. Yesterday, a guy in his 60s came to buy alcohol and I asked for his ID. He immediately gets mad and starts yelling at me. But what really topped the cake was when he said I can now my RGHTs, the his is ag inst my c constitutio now RGHTs. Feel good tale here. I work at a vape shop and an elderly woman came in today wanting a different tank. She said there's nothing wrong with the one she's using, but she was pressured into buying it at another shop and the employee wouldn't budge on showing her anything else. She said it was way too big and powerful for her and she loathed that, other than that she liked the quality. She also brought in a very old model tank with missing glass, saying that if we had the replacement glass for it she will just go back to using it instead. I told her I'll check. We have tons of glass but not that exact one so it'll take me a hot minute to see if we had a cross-compatible one. My co-worker entertained her while I searched and I heard her say that she's going to call her daughter to let her know she's going to be late. I thought she was going to complain that I was taking so long. I was searching as fast as I could but finding replacement glass is a tedious process when you don't have the exact one. Instead I heard her say how happy she was that she found a shop where the employee was going above and beyond for her and that she would be coming here from now on. After 5-10 minutes of searching I came back empty-handed and she opted to just buy a new smaller tank. As she's looking through her options I point out that if she likes everything about the one she has aside from the size, we have basically the half-sized baby version. Her face lit up when I pulled it out. It was the one that originally came with her device and the one she'd been searching for but didn't know enough about them to ask for it by name. She said the only reason she was stuck with the giant version was because she pointed it out at the other shop saying the one I want is this, only smaller, but the guy insisted that only the big ones exist. They hadn't even shown her how to properly use it. She was dumbfounded at all the new information I was giving her about setting it up and using it. She left promising that she's only stopping by our shop from now on as well as the rest of her family. So, for a bit of context, I work for a big chain store and part of my job is to grab carts. We have a policy at the store that anything left behind by customers that purchase the item has to be marked in the left behind book. So kind of like a lost and found log for purchased things. Anyhow, so I'm bringing some carts in like normal. A lady comes up and grabs a cart and sees a candy bar. The following is the conversation that ensues. C, customer, M, me. C, excuse me? There's a candy bar left in the cart. Hands me the bar. M, thank you. C, hey, at least you got a free snack now. M, well unfortunately I can't do that. It's against store policy. C, what? Well you can't let them have it. Referring to my bosses. M, I can't take it. It's against store rules. C, well then let me have it then. M, a little baffled at what she just said, I'm sorry ma'am I can't do that. C, why not? M, we have a policy that any stuff left by customers has to be marked as left behind. C, annoyed at my refusal, whatever. A few seconds later, as I'm preparing to head in to take this bar back, this lady says that's ignorant. You're very ignorant. To me. I of course ignore her, and another customer was nice enough to tell me that I was in the right. TL, doctor, better to be ignorant than lose my job. EDA, THX for the support and award everyone. I caught a kid trying to steal candy from work tonight. And that little kid knew what he was doing too. So I was working in the self-scan right, and so there's 8 units I watch over so I pace like a lot. And I saw this little kid grab some candy from the shelf, and I didn't think anything about it until he saw me walking that way, because like I said, I was pacing back and forth from machine to machine, and he turned tail and ran the other direction and out of the self-scan and around to behind a wall that separates the self-scan from the main hall of the store. So I walk back that way, and when I look around there to see why he hightailed it behind there, I saw that he no longer had two things of candy in his hands, he only had one. And when he walked past me, I saw him fiddling with something in his coat pocket, and since I was so much taller than he was, I was able to see it was the other thing of candy. So I followed to his mother, and told her what he had done. Then she gave him this look. Oh boy, this was his first time doing something like this. He pulled it out of his pocket and tried to hand it to her. She made him put both back and gave me a bag of chips she was going to buy him, and told him to go sit on a bench nearby. By my title, I don't mean quick with food orders, deliveries, groceries, though that really does help, but I am referring to humor. I have worked in customer service for 6+ years, and what I've never lost is my sense of humor. You deal with the most outspoken, you could say, people in life, more than most. I'll dare to protest because they really get their panties in a twist when something doesn't go right. But humor saves me every time. Even if the customer doesn't laugh, it was still great for me. This one time, not a huge example, but enough for the point, an older gentleman gave me a quarter for a tip. Now I'm not saying you have to tip generously, but anything under $2 even is still a slap to the face, really makes you feel so low as a person, question everything you did, sucks to say the least. Anyway, the man proceeded to make a joke about now don't go spending it in one place. His wife looks over horrified at her husband's remark. Me, a cocky kid with no feelings to care about, I snap back and add, oh yes, that gumball machine looks real great. Ended with a wink and walked away with a have a great day. I come back to the table and there's $5.25 left on it. I'd always assumed it was the wife that left it, but could have very well been the man, I'll never know. Moral to the story, even when someone is trying to be a jerk, kill their attitude with humor, for them or for yourself. I have definitely way more stories about outspoken or unique customers, as it is an interesting career path. You really see the worst, best and intriguing part of humans you don't see on a normal basis. Welcome to /r/Tales from Retail's Express Lane, your quick stop for short tales, pithy observations and general retail chat about how things are going with your store, your customers and yourselves. Any experiences with pandemic-related topics, mask issues, anti-vaxxer encounters, etc., should also be posted here and not as a standalone tale. Please, follow the rules /r/Tales from Retail/wiki/ regarding anonymity and derogatory speech. All comments will be sorted by new.